Boy, Henny the Moore reporting live from the liquor store, man. How's everybody doing today, man? And hey, you see, we got a very special guest finna come get drunk with us in the liquor store. And listen, man, like he is the reason that I be hollering about some Cowboy readers when I be doing my little plug at the beginning of the show, man. So y'all welcome my brother JTuck from CFO Sports over, man. How you living, my guy?
Doing good, man. Yeah, salute to the Cowboy Readers, man. That's my favorite drink this Sunday. I can't wait to get back to AT&T Stadium and have me a few. But tonight, y'all, I'm drinking water in the liquor store, man. I'm staying hydrated. You know what I'm saying? Getting prepared for this Sunday, man. But overall, I'm feeling good. I know a lot of Cowboys fans are kind of feeling, down, but I'm feeling good today. Can't complain.
Hey, I'm feeling real good about life too, man. There's a lot of stuff to take away from the game, a lot of goods, some negatives, but we'll talk about it all in depth, man. But hey, y'all know the usual rules and regulations. When y'all tap in with us inside the liquor store, if y'all tap in over there on JTuck platforms, man. First and foremost, JTuck, you have not connected your pages.
I think I am. I thought I did.
I don't see him.
I'm on my channel. I'm connected in my channel, I think. Let me see here.
Yeah, you on. I just can't see it on my ends. You Gucci. Okay.
Yeah, we good.
Yeah. We know we ain't trying to do no free pro bono work over here now.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we connected, man. What's up, CFO gang, man? What's up, liquor store? We all connected, man.
Indeed, man. So yeah, y'all know the usual rules and regulations though when you tap in with your content creators, man. First and foremost, man, please hit that like button. If you can't do anything else, man, those likes go a long way in manipulating these algorithms. The more likes we get on videos, the more that platform will push it. So if you're on YouTube, hit that like button. If you're tuning in on Facebook, hit that like button. Right. If you're on Twitter, hit that like button, man. It goes a long way. So you got love for your boy Henny. You got love for your boy JTuck. Hit the like button, man. It definitely helps improve the content and the range that they're willing to push it out there for, man.
Facts.
So after you hit that like button, right, make sure you hit that share button. And in the liquor store, we practice manifestation because it has been a very long time since the Dallas Cowboys have won a championship. So do like my boy James Simmons. He dropped 6 shot glasses. We're trying to manifest that 6th championship in the liquor store. So if you use emoji, drop 6 of them things. If you share the content, share it 6 times. You can share it to 6 different group chats, 6 different social media platforms, 6 different Facebook groups. You can share it to 6 friends, 6 foes. It does not matter. They share the content 6 times so we can help manifest that 6th championship. And listen, I know we took an L, but it is never a bad day to slap the shit out of an Eagles fan, man.
Right.
And if you slap the shit out of an Eagles fan, I will be able to give you half off on all the merchandise inside the liquor store. And we got exactly what you need to succeed over here, man. Because we got Cowboy Readers, we got gin, we got hen, and everything else under the sun that can make you sin. So tap in with your boy, Henny the Moore, and come get drunk in the liquor store, man. But hey, without any further ado, man, let's go ahead and jump into the content. So what are some of your initial thoughts, man, about what you saw last night? So I know there's folks, and listen, I'm going to go ahead and pretext this. After every Dallas Cowboys loss, there's going to be a witch hunt. Right. Somebody got to burn at the stake. Somebody got to die for everybody's sins. Mm-hmm. So, but what was your initial thoughts from just seeing the game, seeing how it played off, and what went right in your mind and what did not go right?
Yeah, overall, I felt good, man, from when I saw it yesterday. And, it kind of sounds crazy saying that. But, what I was really expecting is to kind of see, did we improve from that San Francisco 49ers game? Like, did we really learn our lesson? Because the games we had since then, we really just haven't been tested. So what I saw yesterday is that we did kind of learn our lesson and we fought. And I feel like the most important thing, man, Dak Prescott played incredible. Like, that's the Dak game. That's the Dak Prescott we all know and love. And he's capable of doing that. And the most important thing, it felt like Mike McCarthy said, you know what, bro? You got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, forget this text codes and all this stuff that, Henny and Tuck was trying to talk about this summer and control the clock. Listen, you go out there and just go be great. And I feel like he let Dak Prescott go do that. And then secondly, CeeDee Lamb, man. CeeDee Lamb is on a tear. And honestly, y'all, it feels weird, but it's like the first time we are using a number 1 wide receiver, like a number 1 wide receiver. Like, it kind of feels weird for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So, getting CeeDee Lamb involved. I think defense, even though they gave up the early score, they kind of settled in. did well versus the run, did well versus AJ Brown. Even though Bland gave up the big yardage touchdown to Smitty, he recouped and recovered. That's the one thing about Bland. Like, he never he just erases it, you know what I'm saying? And always gets back to business. So overall, good game. Biggest concern, you said everyone's gonna be burning at the stakes right now, is Terence Steele, man. I didn't see it being that bad. Now, me and Landlord, salute to my guy Landlord, we did the show on Saturday, and I was like, listen, man, Terence ain't playing too well. He ain't playing hot. But I didn't expect him to be that bad, y'all. And it was bad. And I went and watched the film. I watched the film twice today. And man, we got something to talk about. So that was very disappointing. I feel like the Cowboys, we had the opportunity to win the game, but once again, the small things, right? The penalties, the executions, we were down there in striking distance. We were there, but we just didn't pull through. So like I said, overall, of course, as a competitor, you always want to win the game, but I'm not like feeling like I felt like when we lost to San Fran. San Fran broke my spirit, which is like, bro, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I was hurt, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, okay, it was a heavyweight fight. We both went out there. Both teams was lumped up. Eyes swole. They got the game, the final decision, but I feel like we're going to get the next one. So that's how I feel about yesterday's matchup.
Man, I really agree with you with just about everything you said, to be honest with you, man. Like you said, I'm gonna start with the bad, and I'm gonna start, I'm gonna go to the good, because Terence Steele was not good. And listen, he really been struggling the entirety of the year. I know we haven't really talked about it because we've been winning games despite his play. And let's not lie to ourselves. Terence Steele was never the best pass blocking tackle ever. But what he got paid for was he was one of the most dominant run blocking tackles in the National Football League. He graded out, at the head of his class. He did just enough to stay on the field as a pass blocker. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if he has some mental things going on with the leg. I don't know if he's fully healthy. I'm not really sure what it is, but every time we've played a pretty decent front this year, he's gotten cooked. Like somehow he was even like even in the 49ers game, like he graded out worse somehow.
Right.
Like he graded out as like an 8. He graded out as a 15 this game. He graded out an 8 in that game. Not really sure how they factor that in, but like it was rough to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then quickly chime in on that. I kind of posted that on Twitter today, because when I went back and watched the film, I was like, well, damn, maybe it is the ACL. I know Mike McCarthy kind of said that, but overall, when you watch him, like his kick step is perfectly fine, his base is perfectly fine, the movement is perfectly fine. It's the hand placement. Like he's like, as soon as he shoots his hands, he just got swept. Like with the Josh Sweat sack he gave up in the final drive, like it was just a simple, get your hands off me, bro. And then you watch the Hassan Reddick. It was just a quick jab step, and you're giving up the inside, and that's an outside right tackle or left tackle. The one thing you cannot give up is the inside pass rush. If anything, you want them to run the hoop. But it's just like when it came to Terence Steele, it's just they can have it your way. And I think his hands and his techniques is off. Now, maybe that's something mental stemming off the injury, right? Maybe that could be something. But, from a technically sound aspect, it was all over the place yesterday. And then also, if you go back to that 49ers game. So, it's something that needs to be fixed. And I think what happened for Cowboys fans, we had Tyron, then you had Chuma. You had so much good on the left side. We was watching the left side. But this right side has been over here struggling as well. So, we got to get that fixed to get into, where we ultimately trying to go, is that 6th championship.
Yeah, I think I have the graphic up here, man. Shout out to that boy Marcus Motion, man, because as he said, man, according to PFF, because like different sites will have stuff graded differently, but if you believe PFF, they have him charged with 12 pressures, 7 hurries, and 4 sacks. That is not for the season. That was for last night, because he's given up. If you believe PFL, for the season, he's given up 6 sacks already. There's 9 games left to go.
Right.
So like he's struggling. Pass blocking grade of a 15. So I want y'all to know, like, this is not on a grading scale. Like, this is just like in school. If you get a 15, that is a F.
Right. Hell of an F. You know what I'm saying?
Like all you did was sign your name on the
Yeah. I remember one time I had in middle school, I had a grade like that in the Spanish class. My mom was like, are you even, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't even trying, like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and it's unfortunate, right? Because, Terence Steele coming off the injury, but he got paid, you know what I'm saying? So, Mike McCarthy, once again, kind of made some excuses, coming off the injury. Like, we don't want to hear all that. Y'all paid him. Y'all didn't go attack it in free agency. Y'all didn't go attack the position in the draft. Like, he's supposed to be the guy. So I don't want to hear anything about injuries, and it's going to take some time, because right now we don't have time. We really don't have time. Like, it's week 10 and we're starting to get in the thick of our schedule. It needs to be fixed. And this is going to be a project I'm probably going to work on, because let's be honest, like, I don't need to dive too deep into the Giants, you know what I'm saying, and probably the Panthers, but Mike Solari, the offensive line coach, like, don't make that mistake that we did replace him, and thus far our offensive line hasn't looked well across the board. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, now I'm gonna start looking at the coach, because we saw what Mike McCarthy did with the defensive coordinator when he brought in one of his homeboys and Mike Nolan. This might be a similar situation with the offensive line coach. So we're definitely gonna take a look at that.
Man, listen, I was all for like the zone style blocking scheme when they first brought it up. I like it. It sounded good on paper, but like, we always know that theory is way different from actually going out there and executing it.
Right.
On paper, I understood why you want to move to it. You got some pretty decent athletes on the offensive line, get them out in space, creating these options for Tony Pollard in the run game to either take a place out or give him the cutback option. Like, on paper, it sounded good. But, right now you're struggling running the football and you're struggling in pass protection.
Right.
So even last year, though, like, there were some times where pass pro was a little shaky, but run blocking, you were great at it.
Right.
Now you don't really even have the strength on your offensive line, because at one point last year, all 5 of your offensive line were great in the top 10 in run block win rate.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's not the case this year.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and when we talked about, I think we did this show in the zone run scheme, right? Mm-hmm. And even when you look at it just from the running backs perspective, and it's a whole nother conversation too about the usage of our running backs that we got in that room. But it's like Tony Pollard just isn't pressing the hole and cutting like he was last year. So I'm not sure if he's not trusting the hole. So it's a disconnect with our run game, and I feel like it has to be fixed. Now, can we go out there and win games without it? Yes, but we don't want to have Dak having to play hero ball and throw for 400 yards every game to get a win. So these next 2 to 3 games, y'all, I know you never want to look past your opponent. You never want to look past your opponent. Y'all know my motto, right? We respect our opponents, but we'll fear nobody. But these are games where you have to say, okay, these are the things that are not working for us that needs to be fixed, and you need to make a conscious effort to go out there and fix it. So I mean by the run game, I mean by the blocking, I mean by the red zone efficiency. These are the upcoming 3 weeks where you really want to test that out and get things in motion before we get to Seattle and back to Philly, etc.
Mm-hmm. And listen, that is the thing. We were good on offense, Dak Prescott, and I'm really before I even go any further, I just need to give my quarterback some flowers, man.
Man,
this man has been spectacular since the Chargers game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, since the Chargers game, when he said he made the conscious effort, because they asked him, what about the 49ers game. He said one of the reasons he felt that they lost is that he did not run the football enough. He said he didn't utilize his legs. He made a conscious effort ever since then. And while he's not running for a whole bunch of yardage, you see him breaking out of the pocket, extending plays, making plays off script. You see him rushing for first downs. You saw him get the 18-yard rushing touchdown in the Chargers game. And over the last 3 games, Dak Prescott 9 touchdowns, 1 turnover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
and I feel like when it came to Dak, we heard all the outside noise all season, right? The turnovers, the interceptions, and it got to a point where I think that Mike McCarthy kind of nerfed Dak a little bit, kind of broke him, because it's like you saw a lot of the, pre-snaps adjustment that Dak, like, he wasn't doing that in the first few games. You know what I'm saying? It was just very stale, very vanilla. We're looking like, okay, all right, what's really going on? And I feel like after that 49ers game, it was Mike McCarthy saying, listen, bro, this is not working. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I really give Mike McCarthy a lot of credit, because most egotistical coaches can be like, nope, it's my philosophy, it's my system, we just gonna run it, right? But nah, he heard CeeDee Lamb. You know what I'm saying? He heard CeeDee Lamb loud and clearly, like, all right, bro, that's my bad. I'm not getting you the ball. He heard Dak Prescott and said, listen, let's kind of change things up and put you in full control. And we saw that in the Chargers game. So, that's something I give, hats off to Mike McCarthy, because if not, who's telling how this season could be looking right now? You know what I'm saying? Because that offense philosophy just wasn't working, especially with the run game not involved, like we've been talking about. So,
Yeah, man, I completely agree with you on that. And let's put this into a little bit more perspective because, I compiled Dak Prescott's numbers so far this year. So as of today, right? Because remember, the Chargers and whoever else ain't played yet. So, I expect Justin Herbert's numbers to improve too. But
Right.
as of right now, before the game, Prescott is 5th in QBR in the NFL. He's 9th in passing touchdowns. You got to remember, the man was only averaging about 1 passing touchdown a game to start the season.
Right.
But he's still top 10 there. 3rd in completion percentage, 8th in passer rating. So even with the way that the offense started off super slow at a snail pace, Dak Prescott, man, if he continues on this clip, man, like this man might play his way into MVP talks down the way, man. Because he's good at everything. Yeah, just got to win games. And listen, I understand your point about not looking too far into the future, but look at the next slate of games that we have before we play Philadelphia again. You play the Giants, who just lost their quarterback for the season. I pray that Daniel Jones has a speedy recovery, but that man tore his ACL. He's gone. I have no idea who's going to play quarterback for them. You're going to play the Carolina Panthers after that. They got a rookie quarterback. They've won one game. Protection up there is not good. Pass receivers not that catcher's not that great. You're gonna play the Commanders. I'm not sure if it's still the case, but at one point Sam Howell was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. He's currently tied in the NFL for interception thrown. He got 9 already. Then you play the Seattle Seahawks. You play them at home, and they just lost to a team with a post, by 33 points, 34 points, something like that. So if you look at the next slate of games, you will be favored in all 4. You should be able to win all 4. And you look at what the Eagles are going through. They play the Kansas City Chiefs. They play the Bills. They play the 49ers. And then they play us. So theoretically, if you win your 4 games, you only need the Eagles to lose once before you play them. And you will set yourself up in a position to be able to play for tie them record wise. And then you got a much easier schedule than them down the stretch because they still got to play Seattle after you and some more stuff.
Now let me ask you this question, bro, because I asked it on Twitter and a lot of people were kind of back and forth. I know you're smarter than them. Knowing our schedule, and I would say probably the next 3 games, would you rest Tyron Smith and bubble wrap him and let Chuma Udoga and Austin Richards get the reps? Because what I'm saying, what we have with Tyron, he has the stinger, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was questionable until pretty much game time. Do you risk it these next 2 to 3 games, or would you rather just have Tyron fully healthy for that Seahawks, Philly, Bills, Dolphins push? Me personally, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm feeling like, listen, man, I'm not trying to risk Tyron Smith because more than likely, we all know Tyron's history. You know what I'm saying? So what's your thoughts on that, Henny? Because that's where I'm at right now. A lot of people are like, well, no, Tuck, you got to play our best every game. But I was like, man, I don't know if I want to risk Tyron Smith getting
Tyron Smith is at the point if he stretched too hard, he might be out for the
season. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's already had the stinger in his neck. You know what I'm saying? He's probably not going to practice all week.
But that's the part too, though, because like you can go through all these precautions, he still get hurt. So I don't know how to feel about Tyron. I don't even know how to feel about Tyron at this point.
Right.
This man might reach down, pick up his son, and throw his disc out. So I don't know. I didn't feel like the football.
He get hurt in walkthroughs.
He got hurt. This man got hurt in a walkthrough. Like so I don't know. Like the football guys would definitely punish us for trying to play with them. Like
like, all right.
Now, I understand the approach and the thought process. That makes sense.
Right.
But there are always drawbacks. It also depends on who are the pass rushers that we're going to be playing against. Because we already got Terence Steele struggling on this side. Right. So are they going to get? So is Chuma going to get his ass whooped on this side too? So it just depends. Like if we were playing some folks with no pass rush, then maybe we could get away with that. But just given the fact that Tyron Smith, if you breathe on him too hard, he'll get hurt anyway. I might would have throw him out there because the last time Dak got hurt was in the pocket. It wasn't even on an actual sack. He hit his hand on somebody's helmet because the pressure came in.
Right.
So I don't. So as long as Tyron Smith can get duct taped together and go on the field, like. I might be able to find a way to win a game or 2 without Tyron Smith. I know the season is over with if I lose Dak Prescott right now.
Right. But here's what I'm thinking is the way I'm looking at our depth piece, if we get into that thick of the schedule with the Seattles and the Phillies without Tyron Smith, it gets dark for us. You know what I'm saying? With the struggling Terence Steele, and you have Chima Udoka versus Seattle's defensive front versus Philly's defensive front. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm just like, bro, I want to protect you for that final push, because I don't want to go into December-ish with no Tyron Smith. You know what I'm saying?
This man said Tyron might get hurt brushing his teeth. God damn.
I mean,
but hey, I'm gonna tell you one thing though, man, because I know that they've been very pig-headed about this, but I wouldn't feel so bad about the Tyron Smith stuff if they move Tyler Smith back out to left tackle.
But they're not going to do it.
They're not going to do it.
They're not.
Yeah,
y'all can get that. Y'all can get that idea out of y'all head, because they have no intentions of putting Tyler Smith at left tackle. So if something happens to Tyron, it's going to be Chima Udoka or Austin Richards. Or maybe they'll try to go with Matt. Well, you know what I'm saying? I don't. It's something like that, which I don't want. I don't want none of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want
nobody wants none of that. But listen,
yeah.
this is the hole the Dallas Cowboys dug themselves. Because I ain't gonna lie, I was one of the main people trying to push Tyron Smith off of a bridge in the offseason. You may not have seen the shows or anything, but my issue with Tyron Smith is not being a bad player. He's still a top 10 left tackle in my opinion when he plays. The issue is, this man does not really play football that much. He barely got a season worth of games in the last 3 years.
Right.
So, but you signed him back. You incentivized him playing, all this other stuff. You still should have brought in another left tackle if this was going to be your plan for Tyler. If Tyler was not going to move from that guard spot, you should have brought in a veteran left tackle or drafted yourself a left tackle you could groom. To sit behind him and play. Listen, I like Asim, but when I talk about another tackle to bring in, you got a tight end right now that ain't doing nothing for you.
Right.
You got, I listen. I like Junior Fihoko. This man don't get on the field.
Right.
So you could have used a draft pick higher than the fifth damn round to get that boy. Because I'm not mistaken, there was a highly touted tackle that fell to like the 4th round. If I'm not mistaken.
Well, here's my problem with the whole idea on tackle when it comes to the draft. We know we're kind of backtracking, but it's like they had the conversation between Matthew Barajan, the left tackle of Syracuse, and Mozzie Smith. So y'all were going back and forth. Okay, boom, boom, boom. You decided to go with Mozzie. Okay, cool. How did you neglect the offensive line until later in the draft? You know what I'm saying? Until day 3 of the draft. Like that's my problem. Like, okay, how was it a necessity on day 1 to a point where you didn't even address it until day 3? Like that's where I just don't understand when it comes to the Cowboys standpoint. Now,
I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, yeah, like you were having a back and forth discussion, offensive lineman or Mozzie. You went with Mozzie, and then you just said, yeah, Juwan Jones, who's playing phenomenal right now. You just say, you know what?
I had a much higher grade on that board than the damn 4th round pick. I think I had him with like a low first, high 2nd round grade. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So you had guys there. I mean, even you could have went with those Cyrus Torrance who went to there was tons of guys there. They just said, you know what? We'll get one on day 3. I mean, also my problem is with me putting my, Will McClay hat on. Okay, what I would simply do to fix it, I would kick Tyler out to left tackle. I would plug TJ Bass at left guard and get right back to work. You know what I'm saying? But they don't think like that. There's no cross training. So it feels like if something happens to Tyron, Chima or Awesome's going to be the guy. And I want them to get reps to be paired to be those guys when we get to the trenches. But it's a whole other conversation. But
yeah, I mean, you ain't said nothing wrong. It just, when we're talking about, trying to win a game, like, and it's different. This is not the NBA. If we get into a playoff game, like, we got that one game to figure it out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to have your shit together.
Right.
If it comes to the point where Tyron Smith goes down before a playoff game, I don't need to see Chuma Edoga ass out there. Listen, listen, he cool, whatever. He played good at guard. He has not showed me anything at the tackle position for me to have him out there. And Awesome Richards, you got here a couple months ago. I don't even know you like that, kinfolk.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. And I'm trying. And I think it's just, for me, it's proactive thinking versus reactive. And I feel like that's the Cowboys' biggest problem. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, if something happens, let's say, for instance, we get Tyron for the next 2 games, but Thanksgiving, he gets nicked up. Okay, now we have Seattle, and you got Chima Udoka versus Seattle. Then you got Chima Udoka versus Philly. You got Chima Udoka versus Buffalo, and Chima Udoka. Nah, you know what I'm saying? So, it just is what it is, man. So Tyron's got to stay healthy. Bubble wrap him, do what you got to do, but I'll consider it.
All right, so, hey, Popeye Peach 187 hit you with a $5 super.
Appreciate you, my guy.
He said that Dallas put the NFL on notice on what this team can be after the Philly game, still killing us though. I'll start because I don't think they put them on notice because I think everybody know we're a good team. I don't think that was ever in question. You got an all pro wide receiver. You got a quarterback that's always been viewed in like the category of being a top 10, borderline top 6 player. You got a future Hall of Fame left tackle. You got a future Hall of Fame guard. I know the Pro Bowl is a fan vote, but Tyler Biadasz still made a Pro Bowl selection.
Mm-hmm.
You look at everywhere else. Hell, Tony Pollard made a Pro Bowl selection.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Parsons is supposed to be the best defensive player in the league. Coming into the season, you had Trayvon Diggs, who was an All-Pro selection. You're supposed to have the best safety room in the National Football League. DeRon Bland, I felt got snubbed from an all-rookie team last year. The boy had 5 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just go top to bottom, you look around at the talent we got like great talent on this team. So I don't think anybody is surprised when Dallas Cowboys play good. But like we've always been a good team. Hey, we won a playoff game last year. We back-to-back 12-win seasons. So I don't think we put anybody on notice. We've been a good team. It just, are we going to be one of the better teams in the NFL? Are we going to go to an NFC Championship game? Are we going to win a Super Bowl? Are we going to win a division with Philly in it? And Philly's on a very good run right now. Those are the questions I think that need to be answered still. But I don't think that we put anybody on notice. We've been a good team.
Yeah, I mean, and I think I kind of get what he's saying a little bit, because I think that we did change a lot of people's opinion about us, right? Because the one good game or matchup that we did have, we kind of folded and got beat. So if you were like, the Cowboys, what I'm saying, they fake, they pretenders, and you felt that way going into this game, I think you may have changed your thought. I mean, hopefully, I think you would have changed your thought seeing what we did last night. But as far as what we're trying to accomplish, I feel like we're right where a lot of us kind of had it. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of us didn't have us being undefeated going. It's like, we're scrappy. And here's what I try to tell Cowboys fans. The best thing about this season, y'all, that we didn't get in the past 2 years, we will know who we are and what we are really about when we get to the playoffs, because we're going to be battle tested. We're going to go play San Fran. We'll play Philly twice. We'll play Seattle. We'll play the Lions. We'll play, the Dolphins. We'll play the Bills. Like, so by the time we get to the playoffs, it wouldn't be that we're probably just flying on an all-time high 40 burger and teams and kind of just back our way in there like we did 2021. Like, when we get to the playoffs this year, y'all, we going to be lumped up, swollen, eyes black, but we going to build that callus to be like, okay, we've been on the road. We played this team before. We played, these type of opponents. There's nothing to really fear. And I think that's going to help us for the playoffs, because my biggest ask for Mike McCarthy, right? And he's done what I've been asking him. I mean, even though we had some, a little bit left to play, right? But the consistency of getting to the playoffs, right? Because think about this in the Jason Garrett era. 2021 would have happened. We lost to the San Francisco 49ers in the wild card. We got to wait a whole nother year until we get back. You know what I'm saying? Because there's always been that fall off year when we go 8-8, miss the playoffs. And then a year later we get, you know what I'm saying? But this year we stacked, you know what I'm saying? We went to the wild card, loss. Last year, divisional loss. Okay, so now let's get back to the playoffs and get back to work. So, that's where I'm at. It's just build that toughness, build that identity. So when you get to the playoffs, you know who you are. I'm saying, you know who you are, you know what you're capable of, and there should be no question marks. And I feel like that's going to be our biggest help this season.
Man, I completely agree with you on that, man. Like you said, we will be battle tested, but just because we're going to be battle tested, I still feel like we're going to win a bunch of games, because I think we have a very favorable stretch, coming up. Because who we got? We got the Giants, we got the Commanders twice, we got the Panthers. We get Seattle at home, we get Detroit at home, and they're a good team, but they've never been Dak Prescott in 8 years.
Right.
I like to throw that out there because folks love to give teams stuff. And then listen, you should be able to beat Philadelphia at home. I know it was tough going up there on the road, but I do expect to get a little bit of home cooking, favorable whistle, and different things like that in Dallas. That's usually how it goes with any divisional games.
And also, the Dolphins team that we get on Christmas is going to be different what everyone else got, because they should have Devon A-Chain back. They should have, like they're getting Jalen Ramsey back. They already have one back. So they're going to be different. So it's like, you're going to be tested. The Buffalo Bills too, Josh Allen going to go out there and try to shut me up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, you're going to beat those teams that a lot of people said the Cowboys can't beat, you know what I'm saying? Or play against those teams. I'll say that again. It's people said the Cowboys can't beat. So you'll really be able to show and prove. And like I said, you're going to get your jaw broken in a few games. Like someone just said, like Detroit's physical. That's going to be a physical, tough game. Knock them out, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be sore after. Same thing with Seattle. You're going to be sore. Philly, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Mm-hmm. And listen, man, let me ask you, see how you feel about this. So as a whole, I think we actually have been slightly better against the run this season. I think that was one of our bigger Achilles heels coming into the year. But we haven't. Now, listen, we had some games where a team ran all over us, but we still have not allowed a singular guy to go crazy, have 100-yard rushing against us. And I think if we can force teams into more obvious passing situations, let Michael Parsons eat, not let them just run the ball down our throat and get these chunk yardages, and keep our offense off the field. I think we have realistic opportunities to win most of these games.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to our defense, there are some things that we need to fix, and we'll talk about it this week. I feel like sometimes with our secondaries, especially the slot corner, Jordan Lewis hasn't played his best, and he's been coming to target. So how do we fix that? Even our safeties. I love all three of them, but they've been a little shaky. So when it comes to our safeties, my biggest frustration and knock with the defense is opening drives. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all are allowing, like in a lot of these games, for the offense just to march down and get in a scoring position, you know what I'm saying, and score opening drive, right? So we all know our Cowboys offense always starts off flat. So we go 3 and out, you punt the ball, and they mark like it already puts us in that hole. So, what I want to see with this Cowboys defense, they've done well against the run, like you said, and even like 100-yard receiver as well. They broke A.J. Brown's streak. But who are we if we're not getting turnovers? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if we can't rely on the turnovers, who are we? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these good quarterbacks, once you kind of get up there, besides like Josh Allen, they're not going to give you the ball that often. They're going to put the ball in harm's way. But can you still get stops when we need stops? And I feel like yesterday we did, but in the third quarter, y'all, we just needed that. Come on, defenses, give me one. Just give me the ball back. And they just couldn't get it. And Philly was able to get those chunk plays, kind of march, down the field and eat up a lot of that third quarter. So, I feel like our Cowboys defense overall is perfectly fine. Osa's playing phenomenal, man. I can't say enough about Osa, even Big Hanks, DeMarcus Lawrence, so the list goes on and on. I think that, just the secondary and the corners, that's where I'm really getting concerned, because a lot of people are talking about Jordan Lewis, but then it's like, you got to maybe go with Izzy. You know what I'm saying? It gets thin again. So if we get back to that depth piece, where it's like, do we really have the depth outside of the 3 corners that we have right now? And as of right now, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like Nashawn, I mean, yeah, Izzy played well last year, but what's going to happen? Are you going to put him to the outside and move Deron Bland back inside? So it's like, it's those question marks I really don't like when it comes to our defense.
Well, I put Izzy in the slot because that's where he was when he was in the playoff games, and that's where he played the best at. Yeah. Because that's mostly where he played in the playoff game when he was following Chris Godwin around.
Right.
So I listen, at this point, I'm willing to kick the tires on Izzy. Not just because the man came on the show or anything, but just from a full football standpoint.
Right.
Like he's long, he's athletic, he's younger, he's not coming off. And listen, I know we're not gonna give anybody an excuse for injury, but everybody that was hurt last year is not playing.
Right, a little shaky. Right.
Like every single person. Tony Pollard, broke. And listen, I am gonna say, like, I do feel like some of these guys are coming back slightly too fast. Because I don't understand how Tony Pollard broke his leg in January,
right,
and was the starting running back by September.
Right.
The same thing with Jay Lou. He took a little bit more time to come back, but he did have a very tough injury to recoup from that lens frac.
Right. And
then you look at Terence Steele struggling. Now listen, this man tore some shit I never heard of in his leg. He tore some shit called a MPFL. Right. I don't know what that is. That sounds like a football league.
Right, but what the Cowboys do, right? They'll give them that bag and rush them out there hella quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, quick turnaround. And they'll post a few off-season videos. Terrence Steele looks better than he ever looked before. Like, bro, like, like here's this, unfortunate part. They're gonna do the same thing with Diggs next year, but it's just like they rush these players back, and you're just not fully theirself and fully capable. And like, it shows. It shows. Michael Gallup. It shows that he wasn't healthy last year
at all. Also, your boy hit you with another 5 piece.
Appreciate you.
He said, "Is Micah being neutralized to an extent if they not calling holding on him?" I mean, he got 1.5 sacks.
Right.
And they held him all damn game. I ain't gonna hold you. So
yeah,
but it's like the Shaq thing. Like they fouled Shaq every time down there. But
right.
Like Michael Parsons have like a 5 sack game if they didn't hold that man.
Right,
so
because there was even one where they held him in the end zone. You know what I'm saying? So this is like, but it's just like with Micah, they just say, oh, just play through it because he's so dominant. Just like you said, like the Shaq thing. So, it is what it is. But I like the way they kind of moved Micah around yesterday as well versus just banging him against Lane Johnson all game. So it feels like they learned their lesson, from last year. But overall, man, they're holding Micah, but Micah's getting pressure. They know what Micah can do if you have to play him straight up. He's going to get to the quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I most definitely agree. I don't know, man. But like you said though, like the spin the block and go back around about how we lost this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like a game of inches,
Yep.
Like I know that's cliche as hell, but think about the slight little nuance things that did not happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We talk about the Jake Ferguson. We talked about the Schoonmaker touchdown at the goal. That should he didn't cross the plane.
Mm-hmm.
2 things didn't happen. 1, he really didn't get enough depth, on the route, and 2, Jake Ferguson did not pick him. It was a pick play. And
right.
I know it was a pick play because they ran mirror concepts. They did the same thing on the other side.
Right.
So like how I know for a fact it should have been a pick play.
Right.
So Jake Ferguson, if he had did his job, Schoonmaker is there wide open for a touchdown. It's not even remotely close. You think
here's my one problem with that play,
mm-hmm.
is that if you know what the concept is, which of course they do, the route should be going to Jake Ferguson. You know what I'm saying? Like it should be Schoon running the pick. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yeah. But I feel like what the Cowboys did in crunch time, they really put players who just not capable yet in bad situations. Like even go to the 4th and 8 when they went to Tober, even though my guy Tober finally got his kind of breakout game. It was like 4th and 8 game on the line at the time, bro. You're not going to Tober. You know what I'm saying? And you also had Jake Ferguson right in the scenes. I think Dak missed him, but it's like, sometimes it's just those little things like Henny was saying, like a game of inches and execution. You know what I'm saying? And I'd rather that go to Jake Ferguson with the game that he's having versus Schoonmaker, who's been dropping, fumbling. Like it just wasn't his time to call and play his way.
Mm-hmm. Then hell, you showed me the video on when Terence Steele got beat.
Yeah. So that was the last play with like 28 seconds left. So a lot of people are saying, Dak needs to throw the ball away. I was like, 1, Terence got smoked. There was nowhere to go, even if you want to throw the ball away, because you can't just throw the ball on the ground. But if Terence would have held that block, y'all, I'm not sure if you can pull it up on Twitter, but you had Kevontae Turpin matched up with the linebacker on the corner route, and Dak had the matchup and the look that he wanted. It was dead open. You just couldn't get the ball off. Like he was ready, but just Terence just got smoked and gave it the pressure to Josh Sweat, and there was nothing he could do about it. So, it comes down to execution. Like even when we were on the 6-yard line, like listen, you can't have those stupid penalties. You know what I'm saying? Because even if we didn't get the false start, we was going to run that draw play, and all of our heads would explode because that draw play was blown up. Like Reddick was right there. He stunned it right there in the B gap. Like there was nowhere to go. So that was a stupid play call in the first place. But it just comes down to execution, even with Dak, just stepping on the 2-point conversion, like just those little things. When you're playing a good team, that's the difference maker. And that's definitely what was the difference yesterday. It's just execution and just a game of yardage. The one thing I really didn't like is when we did get the ball back, they was way too casual with tempo. I'm like, go ahead, press up, press a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Get to know tempo. It's just like they were just cool, calm, and collected. But if you go back to 2020, y'all, we all know clock management ain't Mike McCarthy's strong point. Now, every year they hire some professional that's going to take over the data analytics and clock management, and we get the same results. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the one thing. It's like, all right, you got to fix that, because if that was a playoff game, yesterday was a playoff game, I'm hurt now, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a game where you're in the divisional or NFC championship. Like we had that game, we were the better team, we should have won, but these little stupid things cost us the game. So these are something I hope we build on. So when we get to playoffs, we know, okay, I gotta run this slant a little deeper to pick off. You know what I'm saying? I gotta know where the sticks are. I gotta, those little things, so they add up.
Man, you ain't lied there. Like you said, man, like if it was an actual playoff game, we played our hearts out like this, and we lost on some bullshit.
Right.
Certain guy didn't get enough depth, certain guy didn't rub, certain guy, and that is one thing too, though. And I do have to put some blame on Mike McCarthy for this. You sat there and you watched Terence Steele get his ass whooped for 4 quarters, and you did nothing to help that man.
No adjustments.
Like that's your guy. You're supposed to protect him from himself sometimes.
Right.
So why you didn't have a tight end over there to chip? But why you didn't have a running back out there to help him out? Give him some help. Do something different to help him. Because listen, once you start getting your ass whooped like that, it is going to become mental at one point.
Right. And it speeds up your quarterback. Now, in the second round of the NFL draft, we had to go get a blocking tight end. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, we'll go get your blocking tight end to go help your right tackle who was getting smoked off that edge. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have had, Ferguson chip and then release, and that probably would still open things up in the seams. But it's just like that play changed everything. Because if you watch the play, everybody just ran verticals on the right side. It was just like you had I'm trying to think who it was. I'm trying to remember. It was CD. I think he ran like a post, and then you had Turpin on the corner. I think it was Michael Gallup, can't remember. But yeah, like the right side, it was just all vertical. So you didn't have to have, Jake Ferguson just run the direct vertical. You could have had him chip and help block a little bit with, Terence Steele, but they didn't. They still didn't. And, it just is what it is. But those are the small things, Cowboys Nation, that can cost you in the playoff time. So we can't let that happen.
Man, at all. Because think about it, man. It was a 5-point game. When you think about knocking that touchdown right there, Dak Prescott stepping out on the 2-point conversion, Michael Gallup dropping a ball on third down, having to settle for a field goal. Not be able to get points on your first drive in the third quarter, because some stuff got wonky.
Brandon Aubrey kickoff out of bounds,
out of bounds. Ken Folk just got here, 15-yard face back.
Oh yeah. Evans.
Yeah, Rashad Evans.
Yeah.
So like just little goofy ass shit be happening, man, and you don't have.
We got lucky. We got lucky on that Jake Ferguson push and shove, because I thought, like, what I'm saying, I had my kids watching the game with me, and that's when I was like, man, what y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Because that was so uncalled for Jake Ferguson to throw him off the pile. You know what I'm saying? Because that was going to cost the, you know what I'm saying? So those little things, man, we just got to be smarter. And I don't know, man, because we've always talked since Mike McCarthy's been here about more discipline and less penalties and different. Now, ultimately, the penalties kind of outweighed each other and kind of meshed up against each other. But it's like those stupid things can cost you, man. Like Rashad Evans, bro, like you kick the ball out of bounds. Like, why are you pushing helmets? And like our punt team does the most, and I hate it, bro. Like if I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm a special teams coordinator, y'all run down the field with y'all hands behind y'all back, because y'all it's always going to be a block in the back. It's always going to be some pushing and shoving. It's always going to be something in special teams that moves our offense back. Like, bro, he's going to fair catch it. Like, just don't screw it up. But somehow, Cowboys they can't play discipline.
Man. And listen, at this point, man, it's been 3 years.
Right.
Like this is about a 4. This is Michael McCarthy's fourth year, 2020,
right.
21, 20. Yeah, this is 4th year. This is about a discipline they're gonna be.
Right. You are who you are.
You are at this point. You are who you are. So I don't even care, about the penalties at this point, because it's not going to stop. I just hope and pray that they're not going to get a penalty at the worst time.
But they did. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like when and one thing, it's like, okay, boom. You knew that Jalen Carter jumped. He damn near jumped all the way across the line of scrimmage. Why didn't Tyler Bayarda snap the ball? Like, you had a free play. And like Dak was like snapping, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like those little things. Like, why didn't you snap the ball when you knew Jalen Carter jumped across? You had a free play. So it's like
they work on that.
Yeah. As soon as Dak give you the trigger word, you just hike it. Don't care what happens. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's those little things, and it's really uncalled for, because it's not like we have a rookie center out there. It's not like, you know what I'm saying, like we have some guys who's been playing for years. You should be more aware of that. But once again, that's the difference, y'all.
He said Aubrey was shook for a minute. I thought he was going.
Yeah, he had me worried, man. When he banged that kick in, then he shanked it out of bounds and that kick. I'm like, oh man, don't break on me, not today, bro, not today.
Then he rebounded with that field goal. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, shit,
yeah,
man.
okay, yeah. Like I said, man, I saw Money Maher last year, man, in Tampa, live and direct. Like, bro, what happened? You know what I'm saying? He just broke right in front of my eyes. So I was like, no, we can't have that.
That shit was sad. He said Brandon Mayer. Ah, man.
Don't do that. Don't do my boy
like that.
No, man.
Hey, don't you put that evil on me, Ricky.
Don't
Bobby.
put that evil on me, bro. Hell no, man. Because I remember out there in San Fran last year on warm-ups, and I was right there in the end zone, and Maher was just shanking wild, like chip ins. He was just shanking. And I was like, he ain't got it today, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And Jerry Jones came down, and Mike McCarthy talked about him. So stuff like that changes your thought process and your play calling. So,
hey, man, I just thank God that this man played a different sport before here. I don't know. I think the soccer background might have helped this boy.
Yeah. Soccer's brutal, man. You know what I'm saying? You can see it all in soccer. You know what I'm saying? You think NFL fans are bad, man. Them soccer fans don't care. They'll throw a bottle at your head.
Man, hey, them motherfuckers savage, dog.
Yeah, man. Salute to Sporting KC, man. We just advanced in the playoffs last night. HC knocked out the number 1 seed. You know what I'm saying? So salute to our home soccer thing. But it's rowdy out there, man. You know
hey, at this rate, we might have to pull off a wild card Super Bowl run.
Yeah,
but we do have one of the few head coaches who's done it. Because people forget, Mike McCarthy did not win his division the year that him and Aaron Rodgers won that Super Bowl. They took that shit on the road.
Well, I think someone posted today. We are in the 6th seed, so if we're in the 6th seed, we got to go back to Levi Stadium. But if we're in the 5th seed, we get to go
to New Orleans
or Atlanta. Yeah, you know
Tampa.
what I'm saying?
We go to a crazy
NFC South. Like you're telling people, like, listen, man, things gonna get bad. You know what I'm saying? We need to get the 5th or that 7th. You know what I'm saying? Get the 5th or that 7th will be good. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna continue to bang out, continue to fight. Like I said, I want to see some fight in this team, but I ain't trying to go to San Fran first game.
Hey, Trey said he liked the combo, man. Hey,
appreciate you, man. It's always fun rocking with my guy Hitty, man. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, man. Cause we had did I don't know if y'all had seen it. Me and Tuck had did some shows, over the course of the summer, man. We broke down concepts. We talked about this Texas Coast system. We broke down Dagger and Lion and Dragon and these different passing concepts, and we also talked about the zone blocking style run scheme. So we always have a good time talking X's and O's, man, when they come over here.
Facts.
So let me see. I got a couple more slides before we get out of here.
Bet.
All right. So just hollering at John Owen. This is his list of takeaways from the game. I'm gonna go through here and see if you agree with these.
Okay.
Dak. I'm gonna change this first one. Dak is great.
Yeah,
I'm gonna throw that out there.
Bag.
So let me ask y'all, without looking at the stats, like who are the quarterbacks playing better than Dak Prescott in the NFC right now? Without looking, like who are the quarterbacks that are playing better than Dak Prescott right now in the NFC?
Oh, come on, man. What do you mean he's playing well? He didn't win the game. Yeah.
Man, I'm just saying, like right now, the guys like the guys who are ahead of him, like Kirk Cousins out for the year. Like I know people don't ever like to bring Kirk Cousins up, but Kirk Cousins always has great seasons that get mired by the fact they don't ever win games.
Right.
But like he was like leading the NFL in passing touchdowns. He's gone. Jalen Hurts is doing decent, but he only has 2 more passing touchdowns in another full game. Has a lower completion percentage, lower everything else. So I'm gonna give the nod to Dak. The boy in Detroit was
Jared Goff.
One less completing a lower percent of his passes, one less passing touchdown, same amount of interceptions. Like Dak is playing real good football. Like you might be able to make the damn argument, that he is like the first or second quarterback in the NFC right now, especially if he keeps on this damn pace. Here, folks, thank you, Joe. I love y'all, man. Like I love y'all dudes, man. He said, Goff and like in my opinion, like Goff and Dak are like probably the quarterback. You might be able to throw Jalen Hurts in just what he does on the ground.
Right.
So those are probably the 3 best quarterbacks
I'll
in the NFC.
I haven't looked at it.
Gino got 9 passing touchdowns. He's averaging like 1 touchdown a game. Just got his ass whooped. I'm not giving that Gino right.
He got smoked yesterday.
Yeah. So Terence Smith look awesome. Yes, Tyron Smith was manhandling dudes out there, man.
Like I said, rest him, man. Like I need that for them big games, bro. I need them games when I need that for that big game. But
he said Hurts is a running back. That's why I said top 3. I ain't gonna put him over Dak.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna put him over Dak, but I'm not the guy that says that, as a black man, I'm not gonna say that a black Russian quarterback, is a running back. Like folks put that stigma on folks, and I always been like a Mike Vick, Cam Newton fan, even though they never played for the Cowboys.
It's part of the game, It's part. And Jalen played well yesterday. You know what I'm saying? You got to give him some effort because they gave him that shot. They gave him that Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? Some of that vibranium from Mahomes he had from the Super Bowl, and he came back out there. But, he played well. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was saying yesterday, because a lot of Cowboys fans like, why would you want him to come back? Like, nah, bro. Like, sometimes you got to let people just go in the backyard and throw hands and scrap it out. And that's what I wanted to see. Like, all right, we're going to put the Eagles and the Cowboys in the backyard. Let them fight and scrap it out. Now, in the third quarter, the referees showed up and started calling the police. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But it was a dog fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we got to fight. You know what I'm saying? That first half, like, you got to fight. The referee said, nah, bye.
He said Herbert went deep and Gardner knocked that shit away. I be forgetting there's a football game going on.
Yeah.
It's that.
In ours.
Right. Like I said, listen, at this point, I'm looking forward to the Giants.
Man, last night, man, I had a bet for the $300 for Dak to get over 14.5 rushing yards. How many rushing yards? Yeah, 14.
I thought he had 16.
No, he lost 2. He gave him 14.
That's some bullshit.
I was so hurt, bro. I was so hurt. I think they gave him 14. They gave him 14 on the dot, so I lost by half a yard.
Oh, that's some bullshit.
I was so hurt. That's what I said. I didn't even want to watch those. I was more mad about that than the loss. You know what I'm saying? We being real. So.
He said Herbert 3 and out. That sound like Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
All right, so let's damn, man. You got me rethinking my damn parlays right now.
That half a point got me, bro. Got me. Evil.
He said Jake Ferguson is legit tight end number 1. Yeah, he is. He's playing. Listen, I had my doubts just because I haven't seen it before. Coming into the season, I'm the guy that always believe in production over over projection. So I had seen Dalton Schultz be good with Dak Prescott, and I wasn't too sure about Jake because it was a very small sample size. Right. He's showing me that he's like that. Right. Like he's showing me that he's like that. So I'm very happy with what Jake Ferguson is doing. And shit, he might end up being, what Travis Kelce said. Travis Kelce said he would like this. So I'm gonna take his word for it at this point.
But in all honesty, we could have just kept Dalton Schultz and Jake Ferguson and really
listen, when I bring that up, people get very defensive about it.
Why though?
Because folks don't really like Dalton Schultz. Maybe because he be blocking folks on Twitter and shit. I don't.
Yeah. That's probably what it is. Yeah, he got everybody blocked, man. I remember when Dalton Schultz blocked me. The day Dalton Schultz blocked me, I dropped a Trey McBride film breakdown. And he blocked me just like it was the craziest thing ever. Like I dropped the Trey McBride tight end. It was like, man, I love this. You'll say this tight end, boo, boo, boo. All of a sudden, it was just like Dalton Schultz blocked me. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, but you know how to find a spot in the zone. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a reliable target. And we see what he's doing out there in Houston too. So you could have had him and Ferguson and then could have kept Henry shot. But it is what it is.
Yeah, he keeps saying Dalton left. Listen, Dalton turned down that contract. That don't mean that you had to stop it and not offer him another one. Right. If you believe the reports, Dak turned down his contract.
Right.
Hey, listen. Dalton Schultz is in Houston pulling foes and throwing money at the strippers. He living his best life. Yeah. So I ain't tripping on it. But you could have got a better tight end in the draft if you're gonna do some shit like that.
Sam Laporta.
Like Sam Laporta was a better option. The Kincaid boy at this point it looked like a better option. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if it helps you win games, is it overpaying? Because I don't look at it like that. Because I'm spending a billionaire's money in my mind. Cause
Right.
I ain't paying these dudes shit.
Right. Right. I mean, we just gave $100 million to a right tackle coming off a MCACL injury. And you know what I'm saying? He got an 8 great, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, at the thing with the overpay, it's like, it's not overpay if there's value. You know what I'm saying? And he was a reliable target for your quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
Hey, listen. In a perfect world, in a perfect world, we have CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Calvin Ridley. Like, listen, I love spending other people's money in my mind.
Right.
I don't know about y'all, but I got a super team built in my mind, and like Jerry Jones covered.
Right.
But hey, so there's a couple more of these. Terence Steele, major concern. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We already talked about it. Man got his ass whooped all year. Matter of fact, let me take this down, man. I hate doubling down on my boy because I fool with Terence Steele. I was standing on the table for them to re-sign this man.
Right.
So I want y'all to understand. Like, I wanted them to pay Terence Steele because I believe in him and I still do. It's just a rough patch. Maybe with time and not getting left on an island to fend for himself, he will be a better player as the season progresses. But let me pull this up from PFF just to show y'all the year he's having so far. I'm going to screen share this shit, and y'all know he ain't passing none of these grades. Like, he got to retake he got to retake the 9th grade. Yeah. But there's still time to help this man out on his final exam or some shit. So these are his grades, and again, part of this is because, like I said, they don't give the man help. Like, he just out there fighting for his life. But graded out overall 45.4, pass blocking grade 35.0, run blocking grade is even taking a dip. And he was probably your highest graded run blocker last year, if I'm not mistaken. He was one of them. That took a dip. So he's got 5 penalties this year. 6 sacks allowed.
So this is overpaying, y'all.
6 hits, 28 pressures.
Yeah.
So really, outside of the last game, he only gave up 16 pressures. The other games combined, but damn.
Yeah, bro, he getting smoked. You're getting smoked, bro. And don't think, you know what I'm saying, because I have access to it, or had access to it. NFL teams got the same information, so they know what side to go line Reddick overall. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know. And so they seen the same thing that we seeing, and man, he's out there getting hooked.
Because listen, like I said, he was never the best pass blocker, but let me tell you his pass blocking grades the years prior, and we were fine with it. 60.9. That's a D is passing in most places. 63.7 last year before he went down. Right? Dropped to 35. Run blocking 2021 when we were, saying he should take Lael Collins' job, because Lael Collins was out there looking very suspect.
Right.
67.3. Last year, this man was an 82.1 grade as a run blocker. So he was exceptional. Like, he was a monster run blocking last year. And again, injury, probably his confidence, probably them. And listen, this is a new scheme for him too. So there's a bunch of things that go into this. I don't just think you wake up one day and you sorry.
Right.
Like, I don't believe that you just wake up one day and you sorry as hell. But like I said, injury, new scheme. He's struggling in pass pro, and the coach, leaving him out there alone with no help. So there's a litany of things, that's going on with Terence Steele right now. Right. So I do want to know this, man. Like, how confident are you that he'll turn it around? Not next year, because I think a year removed from his injury, he'll be better. But what's your confidence he'll turn it around at the end of this year?
I think he will. I think he will, because I think he's feeling the sting from what happened yesterday. Like, he has to feel bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has to feel bad about what happened yesterday, and I think he's going to make the conscious effort, you know what I'm saying, to fix it. And I think they're going to work on fixing it. So, I think, like I said, once again, these next 3 to 4 games, this is where you got to find your rhythm. You got to find your rhythm and get momentum. Now, one thing I will probably say about Terence is, since the Cowboys aren't running the ball as much, from an offensive lineman standpoint, it doesn't let you get into motion, get into rhythm a little bit. So if you're just dropping back in pass pro, sometimes it's not your best ability. You know what I'm saying? So, I think just got to find some ways to help Terence. But I think he'll turn it around. But Yeah, he better do it quick. He better do it quick. These are type of grades where your mama gotta come sit in class at the back of your class. You know what I'm saying?
I think what the hell you do?
Yeah, man. These type of grades where mama gotta go sit in the back of the head of the class, man. You know what I'm saying? And make you raise your hand and ask a question. Y'all know y'all been there. I've been there. You know what I'm saying?
Man, real talk, man. So let me see something. I'm really surprised by these couple penalties. I'm really surprised that he's has this many penalties along with the sacks.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. At this point, every time you feel like you're getting beat, kinfolk, just snatch them up.
Right.
Because we seen with the officiating, they ain't gonna call it all the goddamn time.
Right.
At this point, man, I'm telling Terence Steele to play dirty until he get his shit together.
Yeah, man. I mean, he can't even get. But that's the thing. He can't even get his arms around their neck. Like he, you know what I'm saying? Like he ain't doing nothing because the film clips I broke down. Like he dropped. He does his kick step, and his hands are like down in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? And by the time he gets his hands up, Josh Whitler just said, "Nah." So, do I think it's the offensive line coach? I don't know, man. I really don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna look into Mike Solari a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Because he's kind of the hit and target. He don't do no interviews. He kind of stays in the background. But our offensive line play hasn't been good across the board. You know what I'm saying? Like I expected a lot more from our starting five. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the thing I couldn't wait to get. Give me my starting five out there. Let's see what our offensive line looks like. And yesterday they did well, but Terence didn't. So, we'll see.
Yeah, and like I said, man, like I understand he's getting paid, top right tackle money, but you still got to help the man out,
right?
Like, cause listen, it gets to a point where you protect your player by either benching them or helping them while they're on the field. We're not going to bench him because he's really still our best option.
Right.
He's still our best option at the right tackle position.
Right.
So you need to give him help on that side. Like, let's just be real, because he gave up 4 sacks. It really could have been 7 or 8, because you got to think how many sacks Dak Prescott avoided.
Right.
Bailing out on the backside.
Right.
So I don't know. And listen, like not just the ACL. I think that's one thing that gets lost in translation. He tore his ACL,
right.
He tore his MCL, and then he tore something called a MPFL or some shit like that.
Damn.
Like he tore some stuff I ain't never heard of before.
Right.
So I believe, like you said, I think as the season go on, he'll get better because I think he'll feel healthier. But man, I just don't know, man.
Let's see. Let me see if I can share. Hold on.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Let me see.
And then all you gotta do is hit the share thing, and then I'll accept it on my end.
All right.
There you go. Now I just need to slide down. Booyah. Okay.
All right. So this is my film, bro. So this is what I broke down on Twitter on Terence Steele. Now it's kind of you know what I'm saying, the long way. But watch him just like with his kick step. So it's not the ACL. Everything is good. But when he goes to shoot his hands right there, y'all, his hands just come down. He gets wiped. You know what I'm saying? Like it's his hand placement, it's his technique. And then he gets the hoop ran on him. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was saying when it comes to Terence, it's like it's a technique thing, and he just gets whooped. And so a lot of people are like, well, Dak has to get rid of that, bro. Dak has no time to get rid. Like Dak had to just throw the ball in the dirt and it would have been a grounding, you know what I'm saying? But that's uncalled for. That's uncalled for at that moment in the game on the line. You have your right tackle who's $100 million man right there, and he's just getting smoked off the edge, you know?
And yeah, and listen, you is not lying about the ground and stuff. They threw a flag on Josh Allen, and I'm not a Josh Allen apologist. I love Josh Allen slender, but they threw a flag on him for a ground that was so egregious because it was an option route. Dude just didn't run where he thought. He threw the ball over his head.
Right.
They called it
That's
ground.
what I'm saying.
Like,
because Dak even thought about it. He was like, man, I can just. He was like, nah, bro, just just eat the sack. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing he could do. But yeah, that's uncalled for, bro. That's uncalled for. So
it's all good. DC for Light, Texas. The drawing was Monday. I did the drawing Monday.
Yeah.
So the 3 winners of the drawing, because y'all know I had raffled off a copy of Madden, a jersey, and a bobblehead. DP Johnson won the bobblehead. Who the hell else won? Oh yeah. DP Johnson won the bobblehead. My boy S.A. Richburg won the copy of Madden, and then Kinfolk actually inboxed me, so I do remember his name who won the jersey. It was, hold on, I'm finna get there. Where my brother at? It was Mike Nelson. So Mike Nelson won the jersey. So those were the three winners. These were like Texas. I have not started another raffle yet, but I'll probably start one before the month's out. So y'all just stay tuned, and I'll let y'all know. But in the meantime, you want to support the content, support your boy Henny, hit the Cash App, it's $Henny the more, or you can hit the super chats or the super stickers. But let's continue on though, man. Cause hey, do you got the clip of
the pass play? Let me see.
Go ahead and break that heart like you broke mine.
I know it's. I mean, I get so many comments on Twitter. They pushed it away. Let me see. I'm gonna find it. I'll find it for y'all here in a second. Because actually,
Trey said he got the 5 and man name.
See here. Yeah, I'm gonna show this to y'all. A lot of people are like, well, Dak has to get rid of her. You know what I'm saying? Like, brother, it wasn't. That's the.
Nah, not the 4th and 8. We're talking about.
I'm talking about. This is that same play. This was what yeah, it's that same exact play where Terrence gives up the yeah, here it is.
He would talk about the 4th and 4th and 8 to where he tried to. Nah, this is a different play we're talking about. On this play, you're finna see if Terrence Steele does not beat, we win this game because Dak was trying to make a throw into the end zone that was wide open.
All right, so I think this is Michael Gallup. So Michael Gallup's going to pull this corner out, and you're going to have Kevontae Turpin right here lined up versus the linebacker. This is a linebacker, and you're going to watch this linebacker. He's going to shift and try to force Turpin out inside, but Turpin does such a good job on this corner route, he's still going to get the leverage on the inside, and he's going to be wide open, and this is where Dak was trying to go with the ball. So 1 second here.
Nah, we ain't talking about
this is the play where Terrence gets smoked. So watch Kevontae Turpin right there in that corner route, y'all. Like Dak would have put this ball right there, and we would have been good. But Terrence still got smoked. There was nowhere, you know what I'm saying? Like right there, that was the play. That was the game. You had Kevontae Turpin matched up on a slow number 52 linebacker. The call was good. It was there. It's just Terrence still got smoked on the play, and yeah, that route was clean. That route was so clean too. Like Turpin cooked him on like bam, because he sold the outside, pushes inside, you know what I'm saying? And then right there, man, it's you know what I'm saying, because the 52 is even lost. He's even lost to where he's at. You know what I'm saying? That corner and this corner right here is cleared out with Gallup. It was there, y'all. It was there. Like we would have, that was it. That was a good night.
And that's why you should have gave Terrence Steele help.
That was a good night, y'all.
Yeah, it was over.
Yeah,
it was over.
A good night. But you know what I'm saying? It's the little things that adds up. It's the little things that adds up. And so
he said, "Make you mad."
It does,
man. Listen,
I'm saying sometimes the film will calm you down, but sometimes the film will kind of just boil.
It piss you off. But listen, the reason it pisses people off because we talked about this shit all week. We said that we could protect Dak Prescott up front. He could tear up that suspect ass secondary. The issue was we really couldn't protect them. And listen, most of the pressures and stuff came from one side. So offensive coaching staff, offensive coordinators, Mike McCarthy, the play caller. After the second sack, after maybe the fourth pressure, why the hell did you not help your boy out? Like it's like you watched the car wreck and you couldn't turn away.
Facts.
So that's more so to it because listen, Terrence Steele under a different coaching staff would not have had a game that bad. They would not have allowed him to have a game that bad.
And like, listen, getting benched sometimes to say, listen, bro, today's just not your day. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's just not your day. We got to go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? But to sit there and let it consistently happen, never give him no help. Never give him no help.
Never gave him no help. And that's sort of the reason why I'm upset with Terrence Steele. It's like, dog, like Mike McCarthy, you are not a bystander.
Right.
You make the calls.
Right.
Like, do
Right.
something.
Yeah. Like think of it like you playing basketball. If I'm guarding Henny and I'm getting cooked up, man, come double team. You know what I'm saying? Or switch or do something. Like y'all gonna let me out here get 40 dropped on my head. You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't gonna switch the zone, do nothing. Like they just let them kind of go out there. And yeah, I'm gonna do a film breakdown on it, but y'all gonna see a lot of times when he's getting smoked, there was no help. It's just him 1-on-1 and the Eagles
On
edge
the
rushers
island.
licking their chops. But it just is what it is. So we gotta improve. You got to improve, y'all, and make some adjustments. But it's the small things that add up, and ultimately, that's what led to our loss yesterday.
Man, it's sickening though, man, because everything we said we're gonna play out really played out though. Like if you look at it, we said this would not be Tony Pollard
Right.
get right game because we're already suspect running the football. They're a real good run defense, and guess what? TP really didn't do
Right.
much on the ground. We said Dak Prescott, CD Lamb, these pass catchers will have a big game against the secondary, and guess what? They went out there, threw for almost 400 yards. Could have threw for like 4 or 5 touchdowns if some
Right.
protection held up. So it sucks because everything we said we would need to do to win this game and attack this team and yada yada, that shit played out for the most part. It was just like not getting a fumble here, not getting depth here. There's all these small death by 1,000 paper cuts basically.
So
he said, why doesn't Steele say something to his OC?
nah, that's pride. That's pride.
Who really
ain't gonna do it. Hey man, I'm getting cooked. I need help out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't that.
Hey, I know y'all seen that Kevin Hart stand up. Help me, help! He ain't going out like that. Now it's up to the coaches, man. Like listen, especially with the offensive line, there's an offensive line coach, there's a offensive coordinator, there's a in our case, there's a play caller who is Mike McCarthy. Like there are multiple people that could have inserted themselves into the situation and resolved it and not watch it happen. And that's one of the critiques that we had about the pass regime. We said they never made adjustments in time. Like, and that was a key adjustment in this game. Like, yeah, you got cute. You opened up the offense a little bit. You got to do some more sets that Dak Prescott was more comfortable with. Like y'all threw the ball past the sticks and then live on this little quick passing game like you usually do. But you still neglected the protection. So shit, I don't know, man.
Yeah, small things, y'all. But we're gonna be all right. So
yeah, man. I don't know. You got any closing?
Nah, like I said, overall, Cowboys Nation, I know it sucks losing, especially to them. You know what I'm saying? They gonna troll. But here's the thing, y'all. Even if we won, they was gonna play that same game. Like, we're still tied for first in the division, and we'll see it in the same. Like they was gonna say the whole game. You know what I'm saying? So don't let them people get y'all rattled up. Focus on the goal, man. Our focus is not to beat the Eagles. Our focus is to win the championship. So continue to build, continue to work. You know what I'm saying? I know us content creators, we're going to continue to work. We're going to find solutions. We all solution-based. We ain't going to sit here and just cry about it. We ain't going to sit here and say, I'm Terence Steele. Like, no, bro. We're going to figure out how to help Terence. You know what I'm saying? We're going to find ways to help Terence. Hopefully the Cowboys will too. So remain optimistic about this season. Today's the last day we talking about it. We're going to move on to New York tomorrow and get back to work. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all for y'all seeing me for the first time. JTuck151 on all social media platforms. My YouTube channel, CFO Sports. Come over, like, subscribe. Do a lot of film breakdown, weekly scouting reports, have great guests like my guy Henny on. Just a fun community, man. So definitely come be a part of it. Have my bro Landlord on Saturday. So definitely don't miss out. And then I'm also linking up with my, Dez Bryant with the High Point Fantasy team. I'll be a part of that team. If you're going to be at the game on Sunday, I will be out there live at the Dez Bryant tailgate. Just doing some stuff with Dez, man, representing Cowboys Nation and getting ready to go get this victory on Sunday. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all.
Facts, man. And listen, the Dallas Cowboys, like, looking forward, we're going to be favored in the next 4 games. You're going to be favored in the next 4 games. Win all 4, and if Philadelphia drops even 1 game, you're right back in the same spot that you were yesterday, playing for the damn division. So, hey, Wes ain't on here, but y'all know what that boy be saying, man. Never look down because the sky is up, man. The stars up, man. Peace.